Hey Mike, thanks for the introduction, brother. So that's a great question. So when I'm scouting early season, typically public land, I really try and focus on mock scrapes. Even starting right now, it's I think July 28th. Me and Luke are out here, and this isn't public per se. This is actually a piece of private that we hunt, but it's pretty far out here. We don't really want to haul minerals or feed or anything. So we're gonna kind of break down how I'm gonna do this mock scrape. So right here, the most important part's like location. So here we've got a long secondary point that comes off of a ridge system. We've got a tram road that wraps around the end of this point and connects to that secondary flat. So theoretically, the first thing that I'm looking for is like travel corridors. We've got a big sweeping drain on this side and a big drain on this side. Turns out to nice bowls, and everything kind of feeds to this flat or the flat up above us. So with this being said, we've got this tram road. What me and Luke have kind of already done, we've kind of cleared out some of the footing. Anytime we're setting up a mock scrape, we want to make sure that a deer can approach it pretty easily. If he's got to work to get into it, he's just not going to do it. He's not going to work the scrape. Typically scrapes are best in highly trafficked areas. So now that we've kind of cleared some of this out, we shouldn't have any issues with a buck wanting to cut around this tram road, especially after this deadfall. He should just want to funnel straight through, check this scrape, and go on around the ridge. So now that we've got our location, we know that, you know, we were back here in the fall, we know that deer are using this. I prefer a beech or a white oak limb if I can. Sometimes we'll hang vines and stuff if, you know, we don't have the timber that we need. For whatever reason, a beech is my favorite. I find more scrapes under beech limbs. So we've got this nice beech here. We trimmed a couple small limbs off of it, as you can see, because I want him to focus on one center point of that limb, which is right here hanging down directly in front of his face. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our favorite preorbital gland. This is one I'm trying out here. Typically, you know, Smokies is one of our favorites, but any preorbital scent, and that's pretty much all I use. I don't put any urine in them. We're just gonna find a stick to kick this out with. All right, so just get your stick. You can use your boot. I just sprayed down with a bunch of DEET. I just try and keep as much human scent out of it as possible. Another thing with these scrapes is you never want to use a place that's super rocky. This here is pretty much all just, you know, bare dirt, and you'll find that bucks will typically prefer that, and they'll keep the scrapes open if they don't have to work too hard to kick them out. So we're just going to take this, rake back some soil. If I can find a better stick. Once you get the leaves cleared off, I try and just dig in to the dirt about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. Just freshen it up a little. All right, that's about all we need directly under that licking branch. Throw a stick over the hill, and then add a little preorbital scent. To the straight, and then hang your trail camera and see what happens. So that's typically how we like to just kind of set up our mock scrapes early season. Like I said, deer use scrapes 365 days a year. Typically the ones that you find are kicked out in the summer are community scrapes. There's a ton of deer traffic, and those are gold. So you can do this on existing scrapes, set a camera up, but this is typically how we do it on public land. Obviously we don't trim limbs on public land, but this is private, so we're able to trim some and kind of make it fit our needs. So yeah, that's your Whitetail Weekly tip.